face first. Jeez.
Smash all the equipment.
Well, that's the end of that.
Hello and welcome to the Serfs. I'm Lance.
I'm Dave.
And this is the Serfs live. Well, not
live.
Yeah, we're not live. Yeah. We pre-recorded this because we're ashamed.
We're dead.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, help! We wanted to do a 5,000 Q&A slash face reveal, I guess. We apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, in advance.
Yeah, so send us money. We'll find our holes and crawl back into it.
Or get plastic surgery, you know, one or the other.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we thought we'd be doing this like in months, and then all of a sudden it just happened. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks for watching, liking, and subscribing. That's awesome, guys. So as promised, we will answer your juiciest questions, honestly, candidly.
I mean, there's no lawyer here. So. We are not under oath.
Lord help us all.
I am not Paul Manafort.
As for a question, what were the political journeys in your lives? Did you have extremely different political views back then?
Well, as a baby, my political views were pretty not nuanced, let's say.
You were a radical baby.
I was, no, yeah, I mean,
you were a radical fetus. Like, let's be honest here.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
I was a conservative fetus.
Yes, anarcho-fetus. Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I guess generally speaking, I feel in the 90s, as a teenager, I probably would have held some pretty socialistic, kind of idealistic, anarchistic views.
More anarchistic for sure. I think I was a stoner douchebag because I think the first party I voted for was the Marijuana Party of Canada. Like, that's so embarrassing.
I mean, I voted. Yeah, I mean, Canada. I voted.
That was a local election. It wasn't for the first election I was allowed to vote in was municipal politics.
Okay.
When I turned 18.
Wait, and there was a marijuana party in the municipal election?
Yeah, there was.
Okay.
So like, cool, brah.
Yeah, no, personally, I definitely came from, I guess, like a left-leaning household. I espouse a lot of, like, you know, both like punkish kind of anarchy-based political views, as well as very socially, let's say, communist views, or socialist communist views. I mean, there was definitely a period of time there I was like, yeah, communism.
You had a mouse shirt, didn't you, in high school?
No, I had a Marx shirt.
Oh, okay.
And then when I went to Europe, I definitely got one of those, like, you know, super touristy, you know, those like USSR party shirts.
Yeah. I know all you did was party in it. I think now kind of lean more towards social democracy.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want a strong welfare state so no one has to be poor or suffer, etc. I like the ideals of Engels and Marx and the idea that the modes of production should be held by the people. I think people are too drunk for revolution right now. Well, I mean, that's obviously making a very simplistic argument, but like I just don't see modern society hitting the streets and raising the guillotine.
Oh, yeah.
And like you can get a cheeseburger for $1.99 thanks to subsidies from the government. So as long as that exists, people are going to get that cheeseburger and they're not going to want to revolt because they're not hungry. There's no hunger strike.
And they'll be too fat to revolt.
Which works. Like capitalism, you solve the equation. If we can change through democracy some major changes in the state and hopefully make things better for everybody, get more egalitarianism, I'm for that.
Yes.
And I want to see that happen. And then I think once we merge with AI, we will realize that current systems are destroying the planet and we'll all be saved. Yeah. So we don't have to do anything. The computers will save us.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Matrix?
The computers are all egalitarian. Like, they believe in social democracy.
They absolutely do. Yeah. They're as egalitarian as it gets. No, they're not fascists.
No, they're not fascists.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Soothing Voice Man says, please do a video about Lindsay Shepard and the problems with her free speech crusade. Oh, no, sorry, he said this is all capitals, so please do a video about Lindsay Shepard and her problems with her free speech crusade.
Nice. Was that also in there?
No.
Okay.
that was au naturel. Yeah, this is cinema verite right now.
So are we going to make a video right now? Because there's a lot more that goes into making these videos than us just... If you don't do it by hand.
Fighting the microphone. I got points to say. I think we should definitely touch on that because we do a lot of Jordan Peterson stuff. We do a lot of daddy, right? But we don't do daughter. And I guess she's the prodigal daughter
wanna
because his
say-
real daughter got banned from YouTube, so she's a failure. And he only values strength, right? In
But did we not talk
meritocracy.
about her in one of the podcasts like a year or two ago when this whole Laurier thing transpired?
Yeah, we do it on the podcast. But I don't know how many crossovers there are from you guys on the podcast. You should listen to the podcast. Podcast is...
Yeah, I mean, like, I think making a video about it would be, like, yeah, we could definitely do a video about it.
Yeah, we should. I definitely, you know where we lie on the politics of this one.
Yeah, I guess that would be it. We're sort of preaching to the choir with both our previous videos on Jordan Peterson as well as even Joe Rogan, as well as, like, the subtext of these other videos.
Well, that might be a good entry point to address the Joe Rogan thing. That's our most popular video, and its likes and dislikes, I think, are like 1,500 each right now. And it's obviously it's the definition of polarizing. So it's polarizing everybody. But I actually really like that. Like obviously if I dwell in the comments section too long, I get depression, which is just YouTube in general.
Naturally,
yeah, that's it's the curse and the blessing. So yeah, we researched the topic, we did points on it, and then we explained our argument. We used an academic paper to back it up, and half the people who watch it love it, half the people who watch it hate it. That's just...
Which is about what's to be expected in the current climate of hyper-partisan kind of sports.
We look like athletes. Like, are you seeing this?
Should I go back and re-say that? But no, I mean, like, Joe Rogan's a popular figure online, and his cohorts and his army is very popular and vocal online. And the people that, I don't know, I wouldn't say that Joe Rogan himself has this large anti-following, but there is obviously a large contingent of people who are opposed to the alt-right, or a lot of his guests that he has on there. So because of that, there would be a lot of negative reaction to that. So I'm not surprised by the polarization of it. If anything, I'm surprised that there are as many people who like the video.
Yeah,
because I would just assume, the 4chaners and that.
The comment section has become like a mini 4chan. Oh. Yeah. But I mean, there's people who join on both sides, right? So some people, good people on both sides. Yeah, I mean, there's people who just log in and they're like, hey, comrades, good to be part of the argument. And then there's people who log in and it's like, hey, Trumpeteers, glad to be magging out with you non-cucks and non-soys.
Internet's weird, man.
Yeah.
Log off.
Why are you still watching?
After you watch the video.
Story and Spice says, I subscribed yesterday. This channel is underrated and needs more subs, and I never say that. Oh, he said unrated. This channel is unrated and needs more subs, and I never say that.
Well, I mean, am I supposed to?
Yeah, I was like, when he's in. But thank you.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was not really a question, but
no, I shouldn't read these in order. Okay, AJ Brant gives us some much heavier topics to cover. So he has 5 questions.
Woo.
Yeah. Question the first: who are your favorite YouTubers to watch? Well, I'll go first.
Pass.
We embrace the community, clearly. Kyrgyzstan or Kyrgyzstan, or in a nutshell, because I don't speak.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, because I don't speak German. Makes some of the best animated, concise videos on a range of topics that I love, especially when it comes to space and cosmology. He's awesome. Check him out. But I guess we have to masturbate the YouTube left community a little bit here. All the superstars I love. Huge fan of H Bomber Guy. Huge fan of PhilosophyTube. Huge fan of ContraPoints. I'm becoming a fan of Thought Slime, and he's actually guest starring on one of our upcoming projects, so stay tuned for that, folks. He's also awesome.
Nice. For the most part, the same as you, as far as the, I guess, left YouTube is concerned. And then I follow a whole bunch of weird, history channels. Really anything that just pops up on my feed. Yeah.
But you can't name drop it.
I mean, like, I can name drop even little things. Like, I'm interested usually in little blurbs of history, simple history, the armchair historian, little stuff like that, as well as your just like brain food kind of nonsense YouTube channels. Like,
Oh, when it comes to a crossover of the two, I would recommend 3 Arrows. I love him because he's a German who does anti-Nazi history videos that are really, really interesting.
Oh.
Yeah. So 3 Arrows I would definitely plug. Sean, who's a British left tuber, also does similar vein.
Sean? Just Sean?
It's a skull. His name's Sean. Yeah. But yeah, he also does really good videos that often incorporate a lot of history into them as well.
Sweet.
It was really cool.
Well, I learned something here today.
Question number 2. Oh wait, I do want to plug YMS because he's a local Vancouver YouTuber.
Oh, yeah.
And he does hilarious movie reviews.
Yes.
So if you want to see movie reviews from a super art house cinema, like a cinemaphile who's incredibly entertaining, dry as fuck, check out YMS. Yeah. Do you think the current craziness in the Western world will end in a negative or positive way?
I mean, I don't think the craziness in the Western world is anything simply localized within the Western world. And I mean, who's to say what craziness is? I mean, is the modern day like craziness that exists in the United States, is it any crazier than the
Red Scare?
Or like, yeah, the Red Scare, or just the turbulent 70s where you had protest strikes happening and terrorism abroad. I mean, it wasn't until the 90s where you had the Troubles still happening in the British Kingdom, and which Brexit might bring back. I mean, why not?
Do your worst.
I think, I think society's always in sort of chaos, and we'll make out it until the ocean rises and swallows us all.
Yeah, I think we live in a really interesting generation right now where we have more access to information that has ever existed before. You can have like the sum total of human knowledge in my hand right now. Well, it's the YouTube comments.
It's blank.
He's reading nothing, people. So you've got that on one aspect, and on the other aspect, we are dealing with the climate crisis, or we're about to, basically. We're going into, the kind of that 10-year march for global warming where shit gonna get real bad.
Yeah, but that won't still take effect for like
for
a long time.
Who are you, Ben Shapiro?
Oh, it's like 50 years away. Whoever lives 50 years.
And what is it? And wealth disparity is getting really atrocious right now too, right? Like 45 people control half the wealth of the known universe.
But that is something that's more centralized in the West, whereas in the East that's already sort of exists.
Yeah.
There's various places like whether you have India or even China where there's far worse income inequality. It's not healthy, and it's absolutely terrible for society.
And to be perfectly frank, I mean, under monarchies, income equality was concentrated to the kings and queens and the noble lords.
They didn't tend to share their wealth.
Yeah, no, the serfs had nothing. But we got this. What is your view on Elon Musk? You love this question. For some reason, Kyle Kalinske hates him.
Okay. I think we've dedicated hours to talking about Elon Musk on the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know how I can say this. Like, I find him hilarious. I admire certain of his ventures, I guess, and what he's trying to bring to the table at times. At other times, I think he's a billionaire clown who spends his time, I don't know, just in a narcissistic pit trying to recreate the telephone.
I think the cult of personality around him is just maddening. I think like when you've got people just jumping to anything he does or says and thinking that it's just like gospel, right? It's like, oh my God, he invented a test tube. Like, yeah, it's the love dragon or whatever he calls it. Stardust sprinkled everywhere. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like the man is inventing a tube to try and go through caves that have like curves.
Oh
right?
yeah, I didn't even know what you're talking about.
Okay.
They're pedophiles.
Yeah, they're all pedophiles, so it doesn't matter. But I agree with you. I mean, in terms of like insane, mad billionaires, what are they using their money for? He uses money to make the electric car cool. So that's cool.
That's,
good for you. And he's trying to go to space. But is he trying to go to space because he wants to live on space and get away from the rest of society?
That's fine. I'm happy with him taking off. Yeah.
So yeah.
So he's a billionaire who's got some good ideas, but yeah, he's
don't worship him as a god.
Yeah, because he sucks.
He's a false prophet. Question 4: if Apple makes a car, do you think it'll have windows?
Whoa.
Now, do you mean windows that roll down because they're always on the forefront of cutting shit out? Or do you mean Windows, the operating system? Just to be extra hipster, I'm not sure.
I assume he means like windshields and windows. And what? I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
By the time Apple
that's actually
it'll be like
a reasonable call.
It's gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna really date myself here. It'll be like that movie Time Cop. Jean-Claude Van Damme goes into.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's a self-driving car.
Yes.
It'll be like super white.
Yes.
And chic.
Yeah.
And it'll have no windows.
And you can't touch the past version of yourselves, or you will mold together.
I mean,
remember that.
That's how they will bring back what's his face, Turtleneck Man. What's Turtleneck Man? You know, the founder of Apple.
Steve Jobs. We're educated. And now 5, he ends on an easy note. This is a softball. What is the meaning of life?
Well, you got to pay to a Patreon.
Answer exclusive to Patreon customers. We don't know.
Oh, no. Pay to Patreon.
And then see us type out 43 to be so tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, the meaning of life. I think you derive your own meaning, essentially, right?
Life is meaningless.
Well, there you go.
Just enjoy yourself.
Leave a beautiful corpse.
Well, I didn't say that. I said enjoy yourself.
Oh, okay. So
love people,
leave
love
a
everyone.
horrific blood, just bloated corpse.
Yes.
That'll horrify your family.
Well, no, that's love yourself, love your family.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
And
do all that.
And leave a bloated
if you can do that and satisfy all those other parts, yeah,
those
I guess
categories.
so. I mean, you have a metal family.
Pretentious Adonis asks, what do you think about the staggering amount of paranoia and misinformation around Bill C-16? I think that paranoia was kind of jump-started or ignited or gaslighted, if you will, by Jordan Peterson. He definitely brought it to the cultural forefront. I think it's sad because at the end of the day, adding the definitions of trans people to the list of things that can be committed hate crimes against should be a no-brainer at this point, or at least I think so.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the paranoia goes, like the bill has been in effect for a while now, and there has.
How many people have gone to jail for thought crime?
Yeah, like it was one of those, It was a very good vehicle for specific types of political thought and right-wing thought, right?
Yeah.
Anti-LGBTQ kind of like thought, and people to raise their own profile. But like I feel that whole Bill C-16 now is like so far in the past that it's never really talked about. You know, if it was like a year or two, it was about 2 years ago we're talking about now, right? Yeah. 2016 or 16,
yeah, maybe
17?
maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah, so like 2 years ago, where that was all the uproar. This is what's going to happen. Watch out. They're going to arrest you.
Yeah, tenured professors will lose their tenureship over this. That's not the point of being a tenured. If you're a tenured professor, the whole idea is you can't be fired for your thoughts.
Yeah, and the actual like real world ramifications seem to be few and far between as far as the actual paranoia that like existed from it.
Yeah.
If it stopped a bunch of hate crimes and then
put some bigots in jail. That's great.
That's great. Yeah. Nobody's gone to jail for like mispronouncing pronouns or not that I know of.
No.
Right.
Z. Wint asks, what do you think of Jeremy Corbyn and the UK Labour Party? Sorry if you're not that familiar with UK politics.
No, unfortunately, we are sort of. Well, I would say I'm familiar with UK
incredibly
politics.
incredibly. I think we're familiar with world politics. It's kind of our crack.
Well, let's not say that.
Well, yeah, the crack is obviously our crack, but
yes,
yeah. I mean, we love The Rock.
Yes.
But
so you get these buddies.
Jeremy Corbyn, I think is fascinating in the sense that he is vilified and hated by the left and the right in the UK and is still winning elections.
Well, is he really despised by the left? I think he's
despised by the left media, which I guess is technically the corporate media.
Yeah.
But like he just gets ripped apart in the media all the time. Like if I listened to the media exclusively, I would think that he was a Holocaust denier.
Of course,
yeah.
He's super anti-Semite. Yeah. Which is obviously ridiculous. So the best way I can, I guess, describe Jeremy Corbyn is he's very much like a Bernie Sanders type.
Yeah.
An old, mostly socialist out there that has been tirelessly working for his values and his policies for, 30 years plus?
Yeah.
And has essentially been true to his policies rather than, like, most of these, like, reptilian politicians that just flip sides to wherever like the money and the power seem to be, and fate being what it is, and I guess the demographics being what it is, the Labour Party is now actually has I wouldn't say like a large role in the government, but they have a significant say these days, so it's good to see. It's like in my mind it's where we would like to see both Canadian and American politics go. I would love to see.
It's unique too because the Labour Party was not socialist for years.
Yeah,
and then he pretty much took it over. I mean, he has to play the political dance. When you see the party vote on things like intervention in Syria and stuff, that's because he's realized the pragmatism of being able to survive in the political sphere by getting his party to vote on that decision. So he's got his shadow cabinet that he obviously turns to, and that he himself personally says, no, I don't want to do that. But lest the Labour Party die in irrelevance in the UK, they do things like that, right? So, you know, and then again, the far left levels against him that he's actually interventionist and he's imperialist, but he's in my opinion, not.
But he is an anti-Semite.
He's an anti-Semite. He definitely hates the Jews.
You know what, like, I don't know where I saw it, but I did see a comment this week essentially stating that if Bernie Sanders was not a Jewish person himself, those same claims would be thrown.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Bleach 401, right?
Nice.
Hey, have you guys read The Origins of Consciousness, the breakdown of the bicameral mind? If so, thoughts? Keep up the great work nonetheless. The thoughtfulness and level of care in each of your videos really shows amazing job. Thank you for giving an articulate voice to great ideas. Thanks for all the praise, man.
That's pretty awesome.
And yeah, the consciousness, the breakdown of bicameral mind, the school of psychology in which you know, the unconscious mind speaks to the conscious mind through thought. No, I wasn't aware completely. I'm aware of the concepts. I never took psychology in university. I really wanted to take philosophy, but I think it was like one of my grandparents who was like, if you do that, enjoy teaching it to like your fellow Burger King employees.
I mean,
that stings, Grandma.
I took some philosophy classes, but they were all like logic arguments, so they were never.
I like logic arguments,
but they were not what you would consider philosophy.
That's a slippery slope, my friend.
Well, I'm sliding down that slope. But no, I certainly have not read that book.
But we'll add it to the list.
Yeah,
man, the list is huge.
The list is long.
The list is huge these days.
We don't have time to read and make videos.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed about it. Ain't nothing but a gangsta party. But jokes aside, guys, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, hitting that bell button. All the stuff you've been doing for this channel has really been incredible, and it's just blowing our minds that we have already this many subs, and it's continuing to grow. So thank you guys so much. We are not going to misplace your, you know, newfound trust in us. We are going to work our hardest to constantly learn and strive and do the best we can to contribute to what we hope will be a better and more productive form of YouTube, and hopefully make you laugh and cry as we grow old together. We want to especially thank our Patreons. We're going to put some extra answers and some funnier stuff in the Patreon account exclusively for this Q&A. So if you want to see more, you can head over to patreon.com/theserfs and check it out. And we will also be uploading the long-awaited documentary on Copenhagen and social democracy there very shortly, exclusively to the Patreon, and coming out later for everyone else. Thanks again.
Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you want more of our stuff, you can click down here, hit the like button. You can click down here, hit the subscribe button, and continue watching. Thanks.
And you can leave hate comments too. I mean, the internet loves hate comments.
Please don't do that.
Start a flame war. Who knows? The power is yours. Welcome to the internet.
Oh, God help us all.